Now, Mike puts his smoke on from his little Stinker airplane. You see smokes emanating from the Lakota helicopter. That's from a boot strapped onto the paratrooper that's got a canister there. He pulls the plug and that causes that beautiful smoke to come out. Now these jumpers will exit that Lakota. They'll be falling at 120 miles an hour using their arms and legs to steer towards the target out here to our right. And then they'll open those ram air parachutes, very controllable parachutes. The same is used by the United States Army Golden Knights and the other teams. They're going a little bit beyond us now to account for the blowing wind. Jumper is away, and you can see him with the smoke emanating from that canister strapped to his boot. Two jumpers away. Third jumper is away. And our fourth jumper is now away, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, you can see those ram air parachutes. They're already open. They're rectangular in size. Very controllable. You have a toggle on the left side and a toggle on the right side. If you want to turn right, you reach up, grab that right toggle, pull down on it, and that sort of collapses one side of the parachute and allows you to turn right. And if you watch them very carefully when they land, they will pull abruptly on both of those toggles. That causes the rear of the parachute to fold under, much like a stall on an aircraft wing for a stand-up landing. Coming down is the head coach, Tom Falzone. He is in the lead of the West Point team today. The number 2 is Staff Sergeant Austin Jackson, the team's parachute rigger and loft supervisor. Third in the stack is Colonel Jason Holler, representing the United States Military Academy Corps of Cadets. And finishing the stack today and jumping in our nation's colors is the team's OIC, or the officer in charge, Captain Arthur Murray. Lakota, incidentally, being flown by CW3 Josh Bozak and CW4 Dylan Ferguson. Happy that they could provide the helicopter for us today. Watch now as they make their way towards the earth. They will fly a pattern very similar to an airplane. They've already done a wind penetration check. Now they'll fly a base and then a turn final into the wind, just like an airplane. Made his final turn there into the wind. You can see him handling those toggles, steering left, steering right. Now pull down abruptly and a beautiful stand-up landing. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for Tom Falzone. Second in here, Staff Sergeant Austin Jackson, now flying his downwind and ready to turn a base leg. There he comes. And on final approach. Goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise now as Janet Boy sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
Out in front of you is Mr. Michael Wiskus in the Lucas Oil Pit Special. Climbing high into the sky, shoulder rolling that airplane all the way up and then pulling over the top. This is a very, very small airplane. It's a Benz S1, but it has been highly modified by Mr. Mike Wiskus. Weighs only about 1,100 pounds. It's got over 300 horsepower out in front of that cockpit. And Michael makes it do things that you will not believe. Watch him now as he performs in what he calls a little stinger. He's a freestyle man, and what you're seeing here now, ladies and gentlemen, is just a very, very short tease of what he's going to do this afternoon when we present his full act. He flies free. He has a written routine, but he never flies it because, Larry, when I get out there and I start looking at the crowd and all of that, I fly what I feel. So he just is a freestyle aerobatic demonstration pilot. He does it so well. I'll tell you, when he started, at 10 years old, his dad took him to an air show, and he was so impressed by that, he wanted to do it. So for the next 2 weeks in a row, he rode his bicycle out to the airport every single day, begging the airport manager to give him a job. Anything so that he could get an airplane with fuel sweeping out the hangar, taking out the crash. He just wanted an aviation. And, of course, he was too young to be hired, but about 4 years later, he was hired, and that's how he got his start in aviation. And some 26,000 hours later, in so many different kinds of airplanes, you're seeing the product of Mr. Mike Wiskus. Flying some corporate Americans, so let's take a full-time air show schedule. And look at this. Right back behind the tree now, series of shoulder rolls. Mike started a program called I Can in conjunction with his air show. Urges young kids and youth to participate in any kind of aviation if they've got the desire that he had. Smoke you see coming from the airplanes today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with it, it's a very lightweight oil called Corvus oil. Now, the negative forces in there, the G's are trying to throw him outside the cockpit, let him drop right through the canopy, but he's strapped in there with a 5-point harness, in addition to his seatbelt, and of course he's also wearing a parachute. But we'll tell you more about G-forces a little bit later on, but they can be really punishing. Mike does his mosquito run for you. I'll try to ask our air boss, George Klein, from Charlotte, North Carolina, when Mike do a mosquito run for us. The mosquitoes hate that Corvus oil. Look at this. This is the that's left aileron and top or right rudder. That's a high alpha pass. Extremely difficult to accomplish. Right towards show center, look out for that ILS shot. Up we go now. Mike Wiskus gonna run out of airspeed. Now watch, he's gonna turn that airplane into a helicopter. Watch him sit up there. Airplanes are not supposed to do this. Using all the power that he's got, just sitting up there. Now the nose comes down and he continues flying the pit special. Right down behind the trees there, checking out the property. Like I said, this is just a tease